Alright, I got myself an Izula Esee neck knife, and what we're going to do today is set it all up. I'm going to put the paracord wrap on it, add some accessories and such. I've always wanted to carry a neck knife. I've just never committed to it. I have my Swiss Army knife that I've carried for over 20 years that has multiple blades and a saw on it and such, and of course I carry my hatchet, which is kind of my go-to. But this year I really want to try something new, so I'm going to try a neck knife and really commit to it. I'm going to set it up, I'm going to wrap the handle, I'm going to add a fire starter to it and just a whistle, just have some options that I'm going to carry with it. And then I'm going to carry it because I feel like, you know, you have to commit to an item a couple times to really see how it fits into your groove out into the wilderness. So come along, let's wrap this sucker. Alright, before we get to wrapping the handle, let's just unbox this thing. It's Esee, it's a great company, it's an American company, and they make high carbon steel knives. This is the actual knife. I did get the ant version, which is kind of cool. So it's got all these ant prints on it, which is pretty sweet. I will say that this 1095 carbon steel is incredibly sharp, so be careful if you are going to do this yourself. Make sure that you keep it snapped in the sheath as you're wrapping the actual cord. But let's talk about the other items that come in the box too real quick. Some instructions. Alright, in this bag we've got a magnesium, a whistle draw and a draw cord and some snaps and such. We're going to come back to that, I think, when we make our neck hang. Oh, this right here is really sweet. This is it's bolts, so you can actually bolt in a maul system onto here or an actual belt clip. The neck cord, which we're going to use gray instead. This is what's really cool about this company is like they have these survival cards that come along with it. On the back of this box, there's all this information about just some cool survival tips and conversion stuff like that, which I think is pretty awesome. Oh, we got some stickers, which I think I'm just going to put on my wall right now. Where should we put this? I think that's a good spot right there. New sticker for the wall. Alright, so now that we got it all in package, let's get to wrapping this and setting up the actual neck hang. Alright, now what you're going to need is you're going to need 4 foot of paracord to make this work. And I wouldn't go less than 4 foot. I think we'll cut off some of it, but I would go 4 foot. Find the middle, and then hold your knife like so. Just hang it over like that to begin with. The one behind, go ahead and pull it through. Now this setup will work with a lot of open-handled, blades like this. So if you don't get the Izula, you can get something else. I know Buck makes one, and different ones make them too. So now we've got it held just like that. Now you're going to take this first one over here. You're going to bring it through, around, and back down. All right. And then now we're set up just like we were before. You take the one that's on the inside, go under through, around, and through and back down. As you can see, we're starting to make a nice pattern here, going back and forth. Alright, so you can see pattern's coming out really nice. I like this pattern. It's a thinner pattern. Some people like the thicker one, but I find this one's really great. I would try it just because it's so easy to wrap and it's only 4 foot of paracord. I would try this wrap first before you go crazy and do those like really creative ones, which I know I'm probably going to be doing the creative ones too at some point because it's nice to change things up. But right now I'm just sticking with that black gray theme of this knife and keeping the wrap real simple. That's where it gets a little tough because you got to keep pushing it down and putting it through. I may need to get a screwdriver for this last one. So this last one I really want to get through so that it holds it tight. So what I'm going to do is I am going to, I'm going to grab a screwdriver. There we go. Right like that. Now that's my last one, because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to individually wrap to halfway the circle down here at the end. There we go. Now, here's where it gets a little funky, but some people will tie this off, which you can do. But honestly, I am going to melt this right into this handle and or into this other paracord and have it hold just like that. So first off, I need to cut it. Scissors. Okay. Now I'm gonna first start with just melting these two together so that they're kind of hooked, right? But then I'm gonna pull it back a little bit and I'm gonna heat it up in here. Get it all nice and hot. And then fold it over real quick. So I've used this melting a couple times and it works really nice, and I've never had any problem of it breaking away or not working. So that should hold for quite a while. And cool little thing, you can still see one of the ants kind of peeking out. So this is my grip. Just so I was talking about how I pull it out, I like to sink that finger in because then that makes sure that I'm not over extending my hand onto the blade at that time. But it works great. Another thing to look at when you're taking one of these out, this Izula snaps in really tight. So I'm really okay with this being a neck knife. I did that research beforehand to make sure that other people weren't having problems with it just falling out. But you don't just pull it because then you'd be snapping it out. You use your thumb here to pop it off a little bit, okay? Just remember that. That's a great way to like pull it out. Just pop it off. And then you're not pulling out real violently, like, because if you just try to pull it, it's pretty big like that and you do that whole thing. So make sure that you just use your thumb to pull it out. All right, so now that we got it wrapped, let's turn it into a neck knife. I am going to use, again, gray paracord just to stay with this color scheme, but I'm going to use a couple items that came with the kit. Actually got this smaller Firestarter on eBay, or on Amazon, and I'll put the link below, but it's Uberlanden or whatever here. So it's a pretty cool setup. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the actual ferro rod off of this and the starter. I like the starter, it's just kind of cool. It's not too sharp, which is excellent. That actually works pretty well. Having something that will actually strike is that this is carbon steel, and I do not want to break off the powder coating around the outside to be able to run it along and start an actual spark. I could use the blade, but that's just dulling it. So I like having this option on there of a piece of steel that will actually strike and give me spark. So here are the items that I plan to put on the actual neck knife. I've got the striker, the ferro rod, the toggle stick, and a whistle. And the way that I'm thinking is put this through here, bring this up here too, and hold it, have it go through. All right, okay, so that's kind of cool. And then I'm going to put my ferro rod on here. Kind of thinking that's the look that I'm going for right there, is to have it all hanging that way. And my thought is when it's all set up and done, I can drive that back, strike, 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 and then pull it back down. So we'll see how that works. Next one is putting on a toggle. All right, cool. Now we've got the toggle and everything, and then I'm gonna put the whistle on. The whistle's kind of cool. It's a, it actually compresses the paracord in it as it goes. Okay, and then you've got to really push it. There we go. So I've got my toggles on the end, my Firestarter like so, and my thought is it'll hang like that, and when I need to start a fire, I'll take it off my neck, spread it out, and actually go ahead and strike it. Let's see if we can get a little spark off of her. It's gonna take a little bit getting used to this little ferro rod, but I find if I hold it like that and use the paracord, it works just fine. It's pretty sweet. And tighten it back down when not using it, and now I've got it as a neck knife. All right, so now I've got it all equipped kind of the way I want it. let's go ahead and put her on. Tighten it up a little bit. And it hangs right there. Oh, that's not bad actually. You can pull it out real easy, use it, put it back. I've got my Firestarter. I think this is gonna be all right. I'm gonna commit to carrying it so that I can really see if it's useful. The only addition that I might do is I saw somebody put a little flashlight right here and wrapped it around with paracord, and that could be kind of useful because you could have it facing down and still just use it like this to actually shine to where I want to go. So I'll probably add a flashlight to it. Hopefully you found this video useful and informational. If you did, go ahead and hit like and subscribe, or just hit that bell so you can be notified of when I drop other videos. Till next time, just remember, life's a hike, so hike happy.